Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 129th episode of Tuesdays with Tobe. My name is Tobe Frierson, and as I say each week, I'm super excited about bringing you a message today. Hey, we have not been in the confines of a studio space, sitting still, eye to eye, talking in quite some time. I had some travels over the month of June is like a wash for me. But essentially, I was in South Carolina. You saw the Father's Day video. Then there were 2 videos in California. Now I am back in the DMV, and I am very, very excited to bring you today's message. So hang tight, because there is a big announcement in today's message, and I'm very, very excited about it. As we do each week, it's time for us to say our family rules. And today, I'm not gonna say, look behind me, ready, read, because that wouldn't work out for us so much. So what I will say is, just repeat after me. During Tuesdays with Tobe, we will use kind words, do your best, always be honest, forgive and forget, be happy, count your blessings, laugh at yourself, stay positive, and love one another. Circa 1999, go back for me if you can. And me personally, I just finished my first year of college, and I came home for the summer. Most students come home for the summer after they finish their first year of school. Came home for the summer, actually enrolled in school because I was in a major where if I didn't go summers, I wouldn't finish in 4 years. So came home, enrolled at USC Sumter, and also the church that I grew up in, Green Hill Baptist Church, had just lost our minister of music at the time. His name was John Norwood. I'd sat under John all through my teen years and tried to learn as much as I could about how to do choir ministries, all the ins and outs of preparing songs and teaching songs and all those things. And he had an opportunity to he left the state, moved his family to Georgia, and that left the church void of music or music leadership that summer. So was I 19 then? I was 19, yes. Insert 19-year-old Tobe. Now, I got to tell you a little bit about Green Hill really quickly. Again, this is just going to get us to where we're going, so I need to be succinct, right, with this story, but I'm getting excited. Insert me into this environment where this church, you all, they're known for their choirs. They're known for great singing, great choir anniversaries, concerts. And insert 19-year-old Tobe, who had grown up in the church and had started playing for other churches in the area actually as a teen, bring me back and put me in charge of the whole thing. And when I say in charge of the whole thing, we had 7 choirs at the time. I'm not gonna go name all 7 choirs. I think my daddy was on 6 of them. Daddy sung on every choir except the youth choir. No, he didn't sing on the young adult choir either. But at any rate, insert me into that environment. Now I have a year of college underneath me, but I didn't tell you I also had a year of college in being a music major. So I came in, just so ready, so excited. And for me, I was surprised, not surprised. I knew and know how Green Hill feels about me. They've grown me up, right? And if you all have that experience where you've seen somebody come from a child into whatever that thing is they're supposed to be doing, people do get behind that, they get excited for it, and they support it. And Green Hill, I have felt that along the way and still feel it today when I get a chance to come back. Okay, I'm being too long because we got to get to where we're going, but I'm excited. And you all, I led that choir ministry that summer. I was doing my coursework at USC Sumter. As a matter of fact, I remember what courses I took. I took a history class and I took Spanish. And so I had 2 classes at USC Sumter, and I immersed myself in music and in preparing for these choirs. And we were doing something at the time called a youth revival. By the way, I saw you all posted on social media when I was out in California trying to run the youth revival back and bring back some type of reunion choir. I'm in. You just got to give me some time, but I am so in for that. So let's do it. But one of these days when I was with the choir at the church preparing, I remember exactly actually where I was standing on the choir loft. And at the time, I'm in school studying music, but I was studying music to be a band director. I wasn't studying music to go into full-time music ministry or to go into any kind of ministry. I always knew that I would have a job and probably play in churches because that's what I was already doing in high school. But I'm standing in the choir. I was actually on the alto section. So if you make this back an area choir, the alto section's on the left-hand side. I was standing there, and when I say I heard, there was no audible voice, but an unction came across me. I'm looking at the scenery, whatever I was doing at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna go in the full-time ministry one day. Like I literally said that to myself standing on the choir. Some people say they heard from God or whatever. Maybe I did. Perhaps it was God speaking through me or me talking to myself. But I said that, y'all, in 1999. Let's fast forward. It's 2023. You've been on this channel. You know I work in higher education. You know I've been in higher education since 2002, which is when I graduated from college. But I've also been bivocational for most of my career, which means I've been working in higher ed, recruiting students, and I've also had church jobs. But here we are. Here we are for my big announcement today. It is time. It is time to go back to standing on that choir loft at Green Hill Baptist Church. It is time to answer that call. I am going into full-time ministry. Here's what that's about to look like. I attend a church here in the DMV called Union Church. I sit here in the DMV, but Union Church does have its first out-of-state location, Charlotte. There's a whole episode on Union Charlotte. And Union Church has its own college. It's like a school of ministry, if you will. Don't think like the college that I work for, like George Washington University, not like that. It is embedded within the church, within the ministry, and it prepares people who just want more leadership opportunities, or it prepares people who actually want to pursue ministry in a part-time or a full-time basis. And lo and behold, there's an interest meeting actually next Tuesday. That's the perfect day for me to do anything on Tuesdays because that's my favorite day of the week. There's an interest meeting next Tuesday, and during that entrance meeting, that is when they're going to discuss the next cohort of students. They're going to tell us all about what it would mean to either do their year one ministry program or 1 year ministry program or their 2 year ministry program. The 1 year ministry program, it goes through like spiritual foundations. It talks about freedom. If someone just wants to enhance their leadership skills, enhance their biblical knowledge, learn a little bit about the culture of the church, about Union, then the 1 year program's for them. The 2 year program, which is the program that I am the most interested in, the 2 year program does those same things. It gives you a spiritual foundation, biblical study, of course, and application, talks about freedom, but it also gets into categories where you're able to dig deep and think about specific roles within ministry, i.e. things like ministry worship, leadership, next generation, that's the youth ministry, creative, all the things you see online, on the web, and then of course operations, the folks who are behind the scenes making it all happen. Those are the options if you want to do the 2 year program. So and this is months ago now, well, maybe not months ago, early in the spring, I've already had a meeting with one of our associate pastors. I told them my desires, my plans of wanting to go to Union College. But here's the thing, I'm coming to you all with this message because I need you to cover me. And some of you know that language. If you don't know what cover me means, that literally means pray for me. If you're like, well, Toby, I'm not somebody who kind of really prays, that's fine. I want you to be thinking about me. I want you to be sending me warm wishes because this is going to be a heavy lift to figure out how to fit this into my life. In order to go to Union College, I have to be in class. This is not an online program. They do this program in seat, and there's an attendance policy. And since you've seen my videos, you know that an attendance policy for me will be difficult as much as I move around. So remember in the beginning of the year when I told you all this was a year of rest and stillness and I was going to be, all of those things that you haven't seen on the channel? Well, it's time for me to kind of dial it back for sure, to make space for me to answer this call that has been on my life since standing on that choir loft in 1999 at Green Hill Baptist Church. Y'all, I'm going to Union College. I am excited and I wanted to share my good news with you. Guys, I answered the call. So enough about me answering my call. And while I'm extremely excited about doing this, you all have a call on your life as well. There's something that either you audibly heard or maybe you were standing, maybe not on the choir loft, but standing somewhere random and you had an unction, like something just kind of came over you like, I should do this one day or I should do that. And you're trying to figure out how to get to it. Look how long it's taken me. Now, while I've been in ministry my entire life, that's not what I heard on that choir loft that day. I heard that that's what I will do. Like that's going to be who I am to whatever space that I'm in. And I'm super ready to step into that. It's scary. It's going to come with a whole lot. A lot of people say, oh yeah, people in ministry don't make any money. People say that a lot, right? Well, I would say while I'm not driven by money, there are other ways to make money. right? There are other ways. There's something called passive income. And this would take me down a whole another lane if I were to start to talk about that, because I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but I've been engrossing myself since January in how to obtain passive income. How do you have things working for you and coming in where you're not trading time for money, i.e. property and the opportunity to own things that generate income. And so that's going to be, these two things are going to go in tandem for me right now. While I pursue this tremendous call that's been on my life for a long time, I'm also pursuing passive income. And so the end of this, so you guys have to watch all of my videos. The big key that you see me holding, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, is my first property in the DMV. And more to come on that at a later date. But this thing is going to happen for me, you all. You're going to see me attend Union College. I'm going to be in the 2-year program on one of the ministry tracks. And I am going to figure out the money piece because ministry is set up a little bit differently than maybe some other jobs. No, if anybody from George Washington University is watching this message, which I don't think you guys watch, I'm not quitting my job. That is not what's happening right now. But I am extremely excited about all that is before me, and I do covet your prayers. And I ask that you cover me and that you send me well wishes. That's what I need in this moment. Hey, I hope you all like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody.